vice versa. We'll try and like be good.
Yep, we're live. So
Oh God.
no, we get to
Whoopsie.
talking, and it just is what it is. So,
It is.
uh,
I
hey,
know.
hey, James and Moni G is here already. Thank you, guys.
I know, that's so nice. I
Yeah,
know the internet has been acting weird. You're
mine.
not kidding.
Mine has earlier. I finally Scott Messerschmidt has been helping me get my desktop going. I had a desktop that was sitting since I moved. I hadn't signed in. I couldn't log in. It like literally locked me out. He got me, it working again, and then he sent me stuff how to update it. And so I was all excited. I got it all updated, and I was working on it today, and it was doing great. So I was like, I'm gonna go live with it, see how it works with YouTube and StreamYard, and everything was going great until I wanted to share my YouTube page on StreamYard, and then everything just went wonky. So I just switched back to my laptop. It sucks because my desktop, the screen, the monitor is like 3 times the size as my freaking tiny little Chromebook that I got going on here.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think what's happened is like I'm a beta tester for YouTube, and so and I think that they just did an update, and sometimes when they do those updates, things just go wonky, and then it
yeah,
takes them a while for them to fix the bugs. And usually like when shit goes crazy, like yesterday it went crazy. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, or it was the day before. One of the days it went nuts, like where you couldn't tell it literally, you couldn't tell how many people were in the chat, and like I don't know, the numbers were all crazy. It was
oh
wild.
yeah, that was 2 days ago when
Is
it
it
said
2 days
one.
ago? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I asked Baker that. It was in Baker's chat, and I said, "Why does every YouTube channel I go to say only one person's in the chat?" And so Baker switched his ticker that says, because everybody I guess kept saying it, and he was like, "You are not alone." It was just
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I wasn't in there. I was in someone else's chat when that happened, but
yeah,
yeah, and it was like that everywhere. But I think like when they go and switch stuff out and something big like that happens where it screws with everyone's channel, I
yeah,
think that's when they're like tweaking it. They're trying to fix some of the other stuff and something else goes crazy.
right.
So it's weird.
Um, but
But
yeah,
Scarlett and
so
I, we always have these long conversations on the phone where we'll sit there and just like chit chat. And then at the very end, where I'm always like, we should have just gone live and talked about all
exactly.
this. We never do it either. We never think about it until the end.
Yep.
But
So this time we're gonna start doing this. This is gonna be our weekly chit chat on the phone, and instead of just doing it on the phone, we're just gonna share it with everybody.
yeah. Oh
Because
God.
we fill each other in on because she's just got me started going into this other community where I briefly talked about it during the day. I brought it up with Kazi G a little bit, like learning who BullHorn Betty is has been. I've only been watching things for not even 2 weeks, I think now, and it's a lot. And
It is a lot. There's a
holy,
lot of history
yeah,
with Bullhorn Betty. But when she first came on the scene, like, I mean, she had been out for a while, but when she first became like where everybody knew who she was during the Brian Laundrie, when everyone was looking for Brian Laundrie. And she's she's from Florida, but she never does cases in Florida. Only this was the only time, but she was down there with a lady named Molly Golightly, and JLR was down there, and like some other people were down there. But she showed up on the Laundrie's lawn and was screaming at his family on the lawn with that bullhorn, and we started calling her Bullhorn Betty, and so she adopted that name. But the she also she she was so ridiculous during that case that afterwards there was a law that was passed in Florida where you're not allowed to go into people's neighborhoods with a bullhorn and scream and protest, because I mean neighbors were begging them to
to
to leave. but she's done that, like that's been her thing, and she will go all over the country. The worst case that I can think of was Simon Quinton. He was a little baby that was missing, and she went down, what was it, I think it was in Georgia, and Georgia, yeah, I think so, Georgia or South Carolina, I can't remember, but anyway, this baby was missing, and he was 2 years old, and the mother seemed suspicious, and Betty went out in front of the house and was screaming at this family nonstop. And there was like a man that was dying. He was getting he had been getting chemotherapy, and he was like on his final stages. He was at home. I mean, and like they were begging, all the neighbors were begging them to stop. And they just caused such a scene outside of this house, and where to the point where Dolly Vision, that's another channel, who was with her at the time, he got arrested at the time. Um and it was horrible, but the she was absolutely just screaming and yelling at the grandmother, right? The whole time, like just calling her all kinds of names and calling her a crack whore and all this stuff, like just horrible things. And what she didn't know was, and she was like yelling at her for protecting, or for, like, it looked like her mom was, her mother was trying to shield the mother was trying to shield the daughter. And this was, and the grandmother had custody of this baby, right? And like Bullhorn Betty was yelling at the grandmother the whole time, but you could tell that this grandmother was like not on her, like she was with her daughter the whole time, but you could see that she wasn't like real defensive of her daughter. And at the end, it turned out that she had been working with the feds the entire time behind the scenes,
Wow.
because she thought that her daughter was guilty, but they asked her to work with them until they found the baby. And they were looking for this baby, searching for him for a long, long time. And
Right.
um she ended up, she had thrown him away in the in
Oh,
a landfill. Yeah.
oh God.
But she
Those
was
are
the
the
one, but the
cases.
grandmother is the one that she took her daughter and turned her in to the feds at the very end. So she was the one that brought her to the feds. So Betty had absolutely made this woman's life a living hell, an absolute living hell that entire time. And think about that. This woman is working with the police to, because she wanted justice for her grandchild.
Right.
And she knew that her daughter had done something wrong. And, she loves her daughter, and, but she had also was just this woman had spent time in prison herself, and she had, believed in, if you did something, then you need to fess up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Moni G asks, so is she independently wealthy? How does one support oneself protesting people all over the country? Good question.
That by her subs, and she used to have a pretty big channel, but not anymore, because she's just gotten so crazy. Like, she used to show up at all of these like town hall meetings and stuff, and she would, just go off on these in these town hall meetings. And then she got into the true crime stuff and started like screaming and yelling at defendants. There was another story, this is awful too. She went to Tennessee. There's a little girl named Summer Wells. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of her.
Yes.
She went missing in 2022 out of Tennessee, and she still has not been found. But that little girl went missing, and now her mom and dad are not like pillars of the community. Her mom and dad were kind of country people, substance abuse issues, just really kind of some um, like just kind of hillbilly kind of lifestyle. Anyway, both of I never thought that the parents were responsible, and one of the reasons I never thought the parents were responsible was because there were four separate law enforcement agencies that were investigating this disappearance of this little girl, and I don't believe that these parents could have outsmarted, Barney Fife. I mean, they would not have been able to have outsmarted all of these, the feds. They were not going to
Right.
outsmart them, right?
Now, I
So,
have
but
heard of
yeah,
summer wells, and from what I've talked to and what I've seen, a couple things I've looked at other channels about that case in particular, most people don't seem to think the parents are involved. I think most people are kind of in agreement there that they they had that's their opinion as well.
well,
Um,
at that, like initially, there was the I would say probably 70% did believe that at one point, and
right, but
then
not I'm
they
talking like recent.
yeah, recent. Yeah, well, that's in Tennessee, they will not let you in on anything. They won't You can't get any files, you can't get any information about any open cases. However, they did come out and say there was an article written about 7 or 8 months ago I saw, and it said that they were, although nobody had been cleared, they were no longer focusing on the family. So, I mean, they haven't, we don't know who they're focusing on or if they're focusing on anybody, but I knew that at some point they would have arrested them if they had if there was enough evidence, but there wasn't any evidence. And I don't know why there was, I don't know why Betty and her crew were going after them so hard. But these
Right.
people worked every day, and they did drywall. Candace and Don Wells did, and while this baby was missing, um, Betty and Molly Golightly and some other ones all went down. JLR was one of them. They all went down to Tennessee, and they went to this house that was where they were drywalling, and it was a really nice neighborhood where it was a brand new construction, and they had followed them around like the whole week. They went to all of their job sites. They kept they wanted them to interview with them, and Don and Candace did not want to. They didn't want to talk to them, but I guess they didn't want to piss them off either, so they just weren't showing up, where they were or whatever. And so they finally went over, they found them at one of the job sites, and they started, with the bullhorn and the whole bit, and like screaming and yelling and wouldn't leave. And the police were called. Don and Candace had to call the police, and the police said that they couldn't do anything about it because, they were allowed to protest, because they were in the street, and they weren't on private property or whatever. Well, their boss, had had enough, and he ended up firing them. Now these
Oh,
two were missing a child. They're literally trying, to make ends meet. They don't have a pot to piss in, and
right.
they got them fired from their job.
See, and
So
this is what I'm talking about. These kind of
mhm.
people need to be called out. It's such bullshit. I
They
mean,
also got a lady at the furniture store fired one time on live, which seemed to be like a calculated thing where they, a lady that had been at this Ashley's Furniture or whatever she'd been there like 21 years or something in customer service, and she ended up getting fired with some antics that Betty and Molly had pulled. So this is the kind of shit this woman does, right?
wow.
And then she was involved, and then we found out in a deposition that she actually her and JLR were dating at one point.
See,
And
that's what shocked me right there. You just told
mhm,
me that, and I'm like, "What?" And because I have briefly touched on JLR right after JLR pulled that shit and got Will the taken off his live, just cut off. Where you did
mhm.
that happen?
Yeah, but like you do know that he just got in trouble for abusing his
Yeah,
girlfriend, right?
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. The Glare was talking about it, and actually, the Glare went easy on JLR
Yeah.
considering what's out there and what he did in his past. I mean, I literally watched a video when I first learned about who JLR was. I can't remember whose video it was, but while the person was talking, it just was all they did was scroll through every single lawsuit. So, like, literally, you got 30 minutes of this person telling you who JLR is, and all you're seeing
Mhm.
every freaking lawsuit
It's
that
over
followed.
3,000 lawsuits.
I mean,
You know,
he tried to sue inanimate objects.
yeah,
What the
and he
fuck?
sued his mom and dad. He sued his mom for not providing enough care for him as a child or something. He sued the Statue of Liberty. He sued Britney Spears. He has sued all kinds of,
Yeah,
I mean, he's
it's
nuts.
insane.
And if you really want to know just how, like, what a deviant he is, that's not like, and like that stuff is all to me. That was just like him passing time while he was in prison for 10 years. But
Right.
he was responsible for. He went to prison for scamming people because he
Yeah,
was
out of
prison
their
for 10
money.
years.
Yep.
Yeah, out of money. He did like some kind of a he was basically one of the first people that did a phishing scheme where he
Right.
was fishing and then selling the
Stealing
data
their
or
credit
whatever.
card, yeah, their credit card information and stuff, right?
Yes,
Their
yeah.
banking information. Yeah, that's
And
and
then
see,
he was
that's the
and
kind of scum that I'm sorry, the people that support that kind of person. And with this being said, this is the same thing I said the last time I was talking about JLR is okay, you did something bad and you went to prison, you did your time, you paid for your crimes. Well, one, I don't think you paid enough time for that kind of crime because you destroyed so many lives. Like, it's so bad. Look at how one company stole hundreds of dollars from me, and I'm struggling. I can't
yeah,
imagine someone taking, your hard
your
earned
life
life
savings.
savings, and then what
Hmm.
the fuck? You're too old to go back to work full time or do something. What the fuck are you going to do? Their entire life just
Hmm.
stolen from them
Gone.
in
Yeah, it's
seconds. Yeah.
disgusting. And then not only that, but then when he got out of prison, he ended up having to go back in because I mean he could not make it. Like I mean he had parole
I was
violations
just going to
several
say
times.
he violated his parole like several
Yeah,
times, didn't he?
yeah, he did. And then the other thing that he did, which was like the most egregious in my opinion, was that he was trolling the like the school shootings
Oh yeah,
up there.
what does the oh the
Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook, thank you. Yes.
Mhm.
He pretended to be one of the victims' uncles or something.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is just absolutely disgusting behavior.
And then also the guy that what is his name? Like the one guy that shot up the Batman movie theater. Like the remember it was like I can't think of his name right now, but he shot up the movie theater. He had like the orange hair when he was
Oh, yeah. I can't
Ethan
name either.
Ethan something, right? I can't think.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but
But you guys
really
know what
quick.
I'm talking about. Like, well, he shot
Yeah.
like well, he ended up like he did like some weird thing with that guy too, and he had like a mannequin with that guy's face on it. It's super creepy. And I will link this channel in a second, but it's called Deets on the Street. And she did a documentary on it and on JLR. And you guys have to watch it if you are interested in seeing exactly what he did because this is a really good documentary on who he actually is and
Right.
what he has done and see like he started years ago like he started out on Facebook, and then he came over here, but and anybody that like spoke about him in a negative way in any at, at at any point he would he would take them down. He would take down any channel that spoke about him. And
Yeah,
so
what
he
I
was,
learned about JLR, there's a channel. His name's called Gavin Fish, and with
yes,
this, if this with this new these new allegations by his ex girlfriend, the domestic
yeah,
allegation, he was actually his very first video about it. He's like, I debated covering this because of all the threats that JLR had threatened him with due to his prior coverage on him, but he's like,
mm-hmm,
important to get this out that I don't care,
right.
And
Oh yeah, Plunder is in his ass, man.
yes, that's
Plunder,
another one.
yeah,
And what
she's
I was
got
saying
everything.
specifically about JLR is that there is one thing, if you have done a crime and you go to prison, you pay for your crime and you get out and you do something meaningful or try to do better with your life. But in my opinion, all he's done is turn into YouTube channel in another way to truly scam people. The way he's trying,
Right.
he has about tens of thousands of followers that I wonder if they even know anything about his past.
Well, that's
And
the
if he's
thing is there's
doing
new
this
people.
kind of
There's such
shit,
a turnover that they don't know, and that's what's and we like laid off of him for the last few years because it did seem like he was trying to do better. It seemed like he had a girlfriend and he was doing like just doing the true crime thing, and he wasn't doing like so much of the trolling and the any of the disgusting things that he used to. So a lot of us laid off of him, but like he came after Will really hard. He's the one that posted
yeah,
Will's mugshot.
yeah.
That initial mugshot of Will, he posted it. And when I tell you that Will has been through some shit, Will has been through hell on this internet. I mean, he has been hit so many times. Like just, I, I mean, I cannot tell you all the shit that has happened to him on this internet, but
Yeah, it's
people
crazy.
were
I mean, he
brutal to
literally
him.
got his life just interrupted. Just bam, YouTube took him down because JLR told his group of people go spam YouTube with go spam Will's channel that he's violating whatever, and it literally
Right.
got taken down midstream.
That's
Thankfully,
the thing
he went
is
to
he's got
Rumble, and
yeah.
Uncle helped him get his channel back. And really quick, Chris, before we get talking, I want to say, hey, James, thank you for being here. And Scott, James is back. His internet is back, he says. So, and of course, Moni G is still here. I appreciate
Hmm.
you. James says JLR is scum. Yes.
Yeah, agree, James. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and he absolute like he's got it out for Will, but what JLR also did was he had created an entire network of trolls and people that did um that looked up just did all kinds of underhanded dirty things. And so if a creator said something badly about you, then these people would start digging into their backgrounds, and they would pull out things about their family, or harass their family and friends. They would expose their identity,
And see, that's what
everything.
I'm talking about right there. It's like instead
Hmm.
of learning how to be a better person and do something legit with your life and make your okay, fine, have a channel. You paid your dues as far as your crime goes. But you know what? Do something worthwhile with your life instead of just being a troll piece of shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
now,
Like,
yeah, absolutely. He's given white boy radio. That's another one. White boy is like up his butt right now too, and he just like he just was outside of JLR's house, I guess, with this like mannequin out there holding a sign that said don't, and like it said, don't ignore the signs of domestic violence. And oh god. And then like had like said something about Jonathan Lee Richards or whatever. And of course Jonathan does not care for that kind of thing, which is so funny because he has done this to everyone else and has
right.
destroyed their peace and quiet at their home and their neighbors and whatever else. He has done that for years and years and years. And he's got a whole army of people that are, are protecting him, that will, start they will start striking channels. But right now that he's got so many people out here calling him out, that and there's nothing like, they might take something down for a minute, but it's going right back up. There's no grounds to keep it down, or there's
Right.
no grounds to suspend, to strike anybody's channel. They might have to sit down for a second so they can review it, but it's going right back up. So there's not much he can do. Everybody's using it under fair use. They're using public record. All of it's fair. So there's not a whole lot he can do. But I find that so funny that when he's doing it, it's, bringing awareness.
Perfectly
But when,
okay. Right.
yeah, but when we're doing it, it's harassment. So, and
Absolutely.
he's suing everybody. Now, there was something where he wasn't able, like, there was a judge had said that he no longer was allowed to bring any lawsuits, no more frivolous lawsuits. So there's an
Yeah.
order that that's a lifetime order, right? But he's gotten around to that, because what he's been doing is he's been suing under an LLC. However, he's trying to um, go pro se under an LLC, and you cannot do that. You have to have an attorney if you're going to do it under an LLC. So that
Right.
got thrown out. That was just recent.
And I mean, it's
So
pretty bad. It goes to show you how bad and how much you abuse the court system. If you literally got banned from making lawsuits anymore, you just
mhm.
can't do a lawsuit anymore unless it's, I mean, I don't even know truly if he would get a legitimate in one. I'm assuming that if it was something severe, the courts might take a look at it. But I mean, you got to think of who's, no matter what it is, even if it was legit, most people are going to look at that name and be like, thrown out.
Yeah.
They don't even care what's in it anymore.
And he has gotten away with this isn't the first time he's been involved with domestic violence either. There was a previous girlfriend before Magnolia. And one of the things that he does is when he apparently when he's
Hey, Morg.
been violent. What's that?
Oh, I just said hey to Morg. Morg is in the chat.
Oh,
He
hey
says,
Mark.
"Oh man, we're talking about internet fun. I love internet fun. Oh yeah, we're talking trolls tonight."
Yeah. So and like I know where all the bodies are buried. That's why. I didn't know what we were talking about tonight, but I guess that's what she wanted to know about, is like all the, I know all the gossip. But he basically yeah, he's been in, there's been accusations in the past, right? And also Betty, also when they broke up, he harassed Betty even, and she was completely against everything, like calling him out afterwards and saying like, and telling, spilling some tea on him too, and saying telling like all of his dirty practices that he was doing. But of course now she's on his side. Yeah. But
Oh my
like
god.
after, like she I think she was jealous of that relationship with JLR. Like that was, she became, that was like a crew. They were called Heels on the Ground. And if you guys, there's another channel. This was one of my friends. Her channel was called Heels in the Air. And Heels in the Air was a creator. She passed away like it's been a little over a year ago. She passed away on a live stream. I think I told you about that,
Yeah,
Scarlet.
you did.
But he came after her so hard, and she would not take her foot off of his neck. Like she just kept exposing him, and she was one of the first ones to expose him about like the lawsuits and stuff, so he hated her. And that was like
Right,
back
he
when
had a heart
he was
attack,
small.
right? He had
What's
a
that?
heart attack. Didn't he die of a heart attack?
No, my friend, that
Yeah.
no, it was she was a lady, and her Heels in the Air. No, she had
Oh
she
no,
was,
no, I'm confused. I'm sorry, because
that's
okay, go.
okay.
Yeah,
No, she had been sick, and then during a live
that's
stream
right.
she had fallen, she tripped on like I think a dog or something, and
Yes.
she
Yeah.
broke her like elbow and her hip when she tripped, and when she got to the hospital they gave her a shot of pain medication, and she didn't have the breathing capacity, and it depressed her breathing, and
Yes, to
she
handle
died.
it. Oh,
So yeah, we were still on the live stream, so it just is wild. But she was giving him hell all the way till until she passed. But her videos are great, and you'll see a lot of these creators that have maybe that you might watch and you might think are decent people, and it's crazy if you look at some of their backgrounds, and it's not as though nobody cares about somebody that has gone to jail and paid their debt to society. I could care less about somebody's record. That's not the point.
exactly.
But it was the idea that he was doing so much dirty things, and he was doing this to families that were grieving. There was no evidence that the Wells were responsible for the disappearance of their child. There was no, and yet they're harassing the shit out of them, like standing outside their house and standing outside their job site. Like, what are you doing? To the point where you got these people fired, in an area where there's not exactly a whole bunch of jobs around. And I mean, it was just, and why do something like that when they already are suffering?
Right.
And even with it, I also, the laundries are a different story because they were hiding Brian out, and they knew damn well what happened to Gabby, and they would not tell her parents where Gabby was. And so I didn't care that house was being harassed. But however, after a while, like, you can't do that with the neighbors there. That's rude. It's just, you gotta have some common sense.
Yeah.
So Betty, after they harassed the laundries, there was a law passed that they can't do that anymore in Florida, in that county. So,
Well, they had to do something. I mean, that's the sad thing is that, like, because when you look, I compare that because especially when I heard about the whole bullhorn thing,
mhm.
like when you compare that to like what Turtle Boy did, where the neighbors had no problem with him, there wasn't that many people, they weren't causing. I mean, the kids had lemonade stands out there for heaven's sakes.
He
So,
did it
and
for like 7 minutes. These people
yeah,
were doing it. They were spending the night there. It was 24/7.
exactly. And that's
Yeah.
where, like, and just speaking of this, just because I want to transition really fast, because I want to show you something real quick, because
Mhm.
you weren't able to see this, and I just saw Kazi G came in the chat. So one I want to say Moni G she says, I wonder if he was having a pro se seizure, and that's only to anyone that's been watching Baker cover this pro se defendant trial that was from March of this year. This guy he was a malinger, like he literally was faking all kinds of shit in court. It
Yeah.
was
Hypochondriac.
he was faking a seizure, and then in the middle of one of the middle of someone's testimony, he just starts talking in court. My uncle's soul is talking to me.
Yeah, I
Like,
saw that.
crazy. He's moaning and leaning back, faking a seizure. I mean, they literally had to pick him up, put him in a wheelchair, and then they're trying to wheel him out, and he literally just falls out of the damn chair. Like, dude,
Oh my god.
oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah, it was bad.
ridiculous. That
Yeah.
reminds me of like Daryl Brooks. Did you guys remember seeing Daryl Brooks
Oh
trial?
yeah,
Kazi probably
I
remembers
just
that.
watched that one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that one's epic. Oh, and unfortunately, we got today we all found out that horrible news that Letitia is getting a new trial.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't even want to. That's so sick.
It
I
is.
can't really do the children. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I try to
Mhm.
avoid the children trials because I can't. I literally
Mhm.
can't handle them mentally, and I know it. So,
Yeah.
as
It's
much as I
best to
try,
protect your mental health
yeah,
if it's too much. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and I know when to or what kind of things are too much for me to handle. And that right there, it upset me even just hearing that this bitch is gonna get all
Make
this.
his family go through all of that again.
That poor dad is going to go through hell, and all the
Mhm.
money that's going to be spent in taxpayer money to put this woman on another trial for something that is the judge approved in the first place, and for them to now say, oh no, we're gonna give you a new trial for it. It's absolute bullshit.
It's disgusting, and she should be ashamed of herself. I mean, she's going to get convicted again.
Yeah, she's
And
gonna be
so,
right back where we started. So what the
mhm.
fuck is the point?
God,
Besides a
and
waste
she's
of
fat.
money.
She is fat as fuck now too. So there's that. Like, like, I'm so glad that she's like gained like 1,000,000 pounds.
Yeah,
So,
well, and I
and
want to show you this. I just pulled this up. Bear with me 1 second.
sure.
Hey, what Morg says, I only ever liked honest swindlers. Generally, I like Nick Rekieta, who basically just says upfront that he's a grifter. That's fine. I like.
Yeah.
I just started watching him too. He's funny.
Hmm.
He's in the house. Hi,
Hey,
sweetie.
Kazi, thank you for coming over. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Kazi's stream was a great time tonight. He was
Yeah.
on for like
I was
5.5 hours.
I was listening. I just couldn't chat because I was working on my computer. I was making
Yeah.
using my thumbnail. I was just having fun on my computer, so I didn't really chat. But I was listening, Kazi. And then this is what I wanted to show you. Kazi and I were roasting on Twisted Panties the other day.
Oh
And
yeah.
I call her Twisted Panties because I literally can't keep her and Krusty Panties straight.
Yeah, that's what you were saying the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what let me I wonder what's the best way to go about this, but I'll just pull up where I had it paused anyways, because let me ask you this. This is what I asked Kazi when he got on the stream. I said, do you notice anything wrong with this? And
Okay.
hold on.
And not the offender, and he pretends the victim is the offender. And he points fingers at the victim and says, look at all these things they did to
Oh my
me.
God, shut up. Okay. What do you see anything wrong on this page?
On this page, let me look here. Hold on, let me look. Are those? I don't know. Are those sharks? I don't know.
No, just look at her channel name on her background, and the second word in particular.
In the background,
this amazing person who's smarter than Betterell and Bradle can't even spell her own fucking channel's
oh my
name.
God.
Zach, you know, Prince of Wales, Zach, he's like, what's TragIEDies? And I'm like, I read his comment and I was like, I don't know why she calls herself Untwisted TragIEDies. I have no idea. And then I realized how he wrote it and I'm like, oh my God, she misspelled her own channel's name. This fucking piece of shit who thinks she's smarter than Betterell and Bradle and Alan Jackson, thinks she's some awesome internet lawyer who's a former stripper and now has been shot. Like, I seriously, and she can't even spell her own channel's name.
Girl, that's crazy. I just laughed so hard one time because I popped in there once and I saw this whole conversation with her. Like, her in her comment section, and it was so funny. They were talking about how Aiden was giving these hand signals in court, and that
Oh my
and that
God.
yeah, that he was giving these hand signals, and that this was like some kind of a fraternity thing, like where they're giving hand signals in court and stuff, and like, and I wondered what that mean. They were wondering what this means and that means or whatever, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, and she was like talking about secret societies and how like this was a thing, and that she had been clocking his secret hand motions like on all of his live streams. And
Oh my God.
no, God.
I gotta show you one more thing as we do this. I've been making, because you know, when I was streaming the first trial, we just started the second trial. Was making memes of the day, and I've been getting very good at my chat GPT.
You are good at that, girl. Oh,
yeah,
I gotta send you that picture for you to do too. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I love doing this now. I'm literally like addicted to it now. Because wait till you see my lovely memes that I pulled. Hold on, I gotta pull these up real quick for you. So for oops. Oh, let me pull up my post. I post them on my YouTube posts since I don't really use social media, and these are just hilarious. So this is the one I made for today. Oops, here we go. I put it in my thumbnail because we streamed Carrie Roberts. We streamed Carrie Roberts because we started the second trial. So I made this of her dreaming of Sandra Bullock, because apparently
that made me laugh so hard with her character on the Lifetime movie. She like
I
she
know.
got hit so hard.
I know she did. Oh yeah.
That's what she got. She deserved it. That's hilarious.
And then have these are ones that I made of Bukkake.
Oh.
And that's Brian Albert as a grumpy cat.
Look how cute that one is, though. You got to do Brian Albert. You got to make his eyebrows mean. He's got like Brian Albert's. He's got like the craziest eyebrows. They look like I don't know, like Count Dracula's.
Have you seen this one? The one I made of Cry Fart. He's constantly saying his numbers are off. My numbers are up. And it's him sending a super chat to himself saying, "Yay, you have 30 live viewers."
Right? Oh my god. That's crazy. That's crazy. TragIEDies ones are really funny too at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. He can make his own now. He's telling me about that program that he's got now called Procreate. So I'm gonna definitely look into that. But I have to be honest, me and my chat GPT, who gave it the name? My chat GPT, because I asked people, I'm like, name my chat GPT, and someone named it Wanda. So my chat GPT is now Wanda. But
Wanda had a different name for it, but I didn't know it was Wanda. But that's a good name.
Yeah, I liked it. So I was like, all right.
I like it too.
My Wanda is knows me very well, very quickly, and I don't have to give her much prompt. And this is the stuff I get. I mean, she's amazing. So then Chastity from Kazi G has started to come to my channel, and she sent me Siggy Bear. And I said, we were watching a video of her in this nasty ass getup she's got going on with that nasty ass blue-eyed shadow up to her eyebrows, like that chick from the Carrie show. And she's got those headbands on that are meant for when you're wearing your, putting makeup on or washing your face. And I said, it looks like granny panties. And so I made her Siggy Bear have granny panties on her head. So there you go.
God, they does. That's the cutest. Oh my god, that's so funny. She does look like an old German wash lady or something. Yeah, like
I'm telling you. Oh, like, seriously, these are a couple I made from the Kelsey Fitzsimmons trial. About Nuna. Did you watch the Kelsey?
Yes, every minute of it. Yeah, and Noonan, like. I mean, what I don't think that guy was probably a bad guy, but I think that he should have taken the hit. He should have admitted what he did, because nobody would have blamed him for what he did.
That's exactly what I said. I said, if he had come in and said, hey, I trusted her, I turned my back, I turned around and I saw a gun, and I was wrong. People would have backed him for that. Not the bullshit he tried to say. His story was not credible. Not to mention, you are talking about shooting a fellow cop, and you can't muster up a little bit of emotion. Not to mention, it's a cop that you took under your wing. He
tried to distance himself from that too.
Oh, I barely knew her. Fuck off.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And that just made him seem less credible just doing that. Like, you didn't need to try and distance yourself from her. That makes you seem less credible. But also, Scarlet, like, I mean,
have a good night, Moni G. Get some good sleep. Sorry.
I think basically that he was scared he would lose his job, but also they wanted him to go with that as well, because if they found that he did do that, she would be able to sue the shit out of the police department.
Well, he could also go to jail. He would lose his job and his pension, because in Massachusetts it is illegal to use deadly force on someone threatening self-harm.
Yeah,
he would have lost everything, and that's why he lied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I don't even think that that's right either, because I think like when a gun is pulled out, I mean, uh, like uh,
Well,
I
I'm
don't
just going to say
know.
this. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say this. There is no point in using deadly force on someone that is threatening self-harm. What's the point? You
No,
are
and also
trained to shoot to kill. If
right,
you are
right,
an
and like
officer
what
trained
was Kelsey?
to kill,
What was Kelsey's Kelsey's end game? Was she just gonna just go and have a shootout with all of them and knock
well,
her
that's
mom down?
exactly
And
what they want you to believe, that she honestly, a cop, was going to shoot through Noonan and then shoot through two more cops to get to a guy that she didn't even know was in her fucking house. And then
right,
Noonan said on the stand, I didn't know Justin was in the house. Well, if
yep.
he didn't know, how the hell did Kelsey supposedly know?
But then he said that he was blocking her from. He thought that Kelsey was going to go down and shoot Justin. Remember? That's what he said. He said that he was scared that she was going to go down those steps and get to Justin and kill him.
Right, and that's my point, though, is that he stated that his belief was that she pulled that gun to shoot him to get to Justin, right?
Right,
Well, he also, in the same breath, said that he didn't know Justin was in the house, and him
right,
and Kelsey were the only two upstairs. If he didn't know he was in the house, how the hell did she?
right. I also the you know what else, Scarlett? I don't know if anybody else thinks this, but I so think this. I promise you, I believe that Justin, his original plan was that Kelsey got pulled over with those mushrooms in the car. That was the first plan, and when that failed, the second one was that she tried to do a hit and run, and tried to sideswipe that car or whatever.
Yeah, and she
Like,
wasn't even there. She didn't.
ri-
It wasn't her car, and they
right,
could
I
have
know, but
easily proved it with location data.
that's what, like, they were trying. I think he was trying to set her up to either getting arrested or getting fired or something,
Oh,
or
right.
making
No,
her seem like
100%.
she was, yeah. And then with her trying to, swerve and hit this car on the side of the road, I think that that was all a plan. And when none of those things
To
went
get her car
through,
searched for the drugs. Gotcha. Yeah.
right,
And I mean, even because I went through him and Kiz and Kelsey's text messages too on my channel, and reading those text messages, you could tell that he was saying things specifically because I truly believe he was setting those text messages up too for some reason. Like he knew in advance before he wrote that stuff that someone was going to read those, because
100%.
no male responds the way he did unless
No, not at all.
he's putting on a show.
The other thing, yeah, absolutely, he knew that. And I also thought, like, what it he was setting her up to seem crazy, and I think he was scared that if that when that relationship was going south, that he wanted to make sure that he had custody and he wasn't going to be on the hook for child support, but he wanted to make sure that she seemed unhinged and crazy. And
Yeah.
I thought, like, I'm losing, or I forgot my point, but like those, I think that those other things were absolutely a setup. And what I don't understand is that you would think that these people would have some loyalty to their coworker over Justin, but that, that it's a good old boys situation, I guess. But the other thing too is that um God, I just lost my damn thought again. Damn
Oh, I
it.
do that all
It
the
was
time.
important too. Oh, it was
Speaking
important
of,
too.
I
But
got something funny for you to watch too. Speaking of Bustin' Justin, hold on, I'm trying to try and find it.
what a Neanderthal that dude is. Like, how gross is he? Him and his weird forehead. Like, that whole family's got those weird foreheads. They look like they have an extra chromosome going on. Like, I mean, and the idea that isn't that crazy? But the idea that they all look like they're Neanderthal. I don't know. I was like, holy forehead. But they also like the idea that they allowed him to break in her house like that, and why was he not charged for breaking and entering, or why they allowed him to go in there. I don't understand why he was allowed to go in there and just take whatever he
No,
wanted.
he should have
And
never
then,
been in that house. He should have never, and he should have been arrested for breaking and entering. All those guys. Did you know that one of the guys that went in and busted in her house with Justin that day was
a
also
paramedic.
one of the EMTs that took her to the hospital? Yeah.
Yep, I saw that. I saw that on Microdocs, which is crazy, you know. It's just it's wild that they were able to pull that off. Now, mind you, there was a judge in Defense Diaries during the case that was saying that in her courtroom that it's usually 72 hours if there's a situation like that, but never ever would she ever push that out to be 2 weeks. You know, that's absolute craziness to just to yank a baby that's still, you know, nursing for
Yeah.
2
No, and
weeks.
then speaking of
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is real quick before
Yeah.
I miss it. What I was going to say is the police department is screwed for a couple of different reasons. One is that they just cleared this woman. They just said that she was now fit enough to go out and carry a gun and go out in public and with a gun. They just cleared her and said that she was fit to do so. And the following day, they come with an order and say, "Give me your weapon," and you're not fit. That
Right.
makes zero sense to me that they're able to do that. That a court would have given him a temporary restraining order when the other side of that there should have been somebody that was there for her side, that shouldn't just go based upon what somebody says about you.
Right. And
Because
I brought up that point specifically because I don't think in anywhere else would you see somebody be able to just go out, fill out a piece of paper and get a restraining order like that. No
right.
fucking way. And
Well,
psychologically speaking, on that baby is going to have not abandonment, but attachment disorders. I'm sorry, if that baby isn't given help right away, I mean, even if and when, because you know what's going to happen, but when baby C is brought back together with Kelsey, that it has been a year, almost a year, and
yeah,
that it's insanity. And
it
I'm
is.
sorry, Justin doesn't give a two shits about that baby. He wanted the money. He had the fucking nerve to say she needed to sell her house to give him 18 years worth of child support up front. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah,
Are
and
you fucking crazy?
and he stole her money as well.
Yeah,
You
he stole
know,
her
and
money.
I'm thinking, like, what is this like, why are his family, why is this family think that they are above the law? Like they
Well,
had
they
to
got
wait
the ends. They
the
got the ends
judge.
in the county, and apparently that's why this Judge McCarthy Nyman Newman piece of shit did what she did, was because they somehow, and it hasn't come out yet, but I've seen so many people talk about this family's connections to the law enforcement and the judicial.
But I don't know what they are. What are the connections?
I don't know, but let's just see. Look at the winners of children they have. Okay.
Oh my God. The Neanderthal children.
Yeah.
I mean, they are there is an extra chromosome going on there, and hopefully it skipped a generation and the baby doesn't have it, because and he doesn't, and that baby looked sweet as pie. But that's crazy. And did you hear how he spoke about the baby? He was calling him that baby, that kid, and that
and that kid. That,
yeah.
Not my son, not by his name. It was always it.
You have to love your children more than you hate
And
the
fathers do not
spouse.
babysit their children, okay? It's called being a father. I
And
hate that.
And when you're spending the night in a fire department and you're having to do those kinds of shifts where you sleep there, it's not a good idea to take on a newborn baby where the baby isn't going to be with the parent. So, like, why? Like, you're such an immature, disgusting person. Did you honestly think you were going to keep this baby away from her forever? Like, that wasn't going to happen. So, like, why would you? I mean, you know, the likelihood of you just not just being able to just cut the parent out of their life, that would never in a million years happen. So you
Yeah.
have to think like this guy has no critical thinking skills where he can't see, you know, out through his anger. He just is impulsive and does
Mm-hmm.
things. And you can see like the Ratchet sisters are impulsive. You know, like listen, if I got kicked out of a party, a bachelorette party, I've never been kicked out of anywhere. But if I ever was, the last thing I would do would be crawl in through a window and get back in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what a weirdo. Like, who does that? His sister. She crawled back in the house.
Yep.
Scarlet.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm here. I was just looking for this video. I can't seem to find the one I wanted to show, but it was just, have you seen that video of him running?
Yes.
I,
A
I,
million times.
I called it out. I was like, dude, this douchebag is running like 10-year-old Scarlet. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're
Story
middle school
I told
Scarlet.
about how many times I face planted being forced into doing field day. Okay.
I
Yeah.
hate field day too. Like, I get you, girl. I'm
Oh,
here. I'm here. I have the same middle school run too. Like, it's so
I
awkward.
seriously, I
But,
told
like, how
this
are you a
story.
first
I told this
responder?
story before that. I know exactly. I understand that firefighters aren't technically supposed to run towards, gunshots, but you are supposed to kind of run towards danger and want to help people. And when you're
Kelsey's
running like
mom
a spirit
ran
level,
towards it. Her mom ran towards
yes,
it. She
her
wasn't
man,
scared.
I know. And he's running away like a little pussy. I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
but that's all he
seriously.
fucking is.
And he didn't run out to his baby.
And then he
He
can't even
ran out to
run.
his car. Huh?
No, he didn't. No, yep, he didn't. He didn't care about the baby either. He ran to his fucking car.
That's what he did. He ran to his car. And then
What
did he
a
go
wuss.
pick up his sister and the baby or what?
Yeah, but he knew his sister and the baby were already long gone. He saw them, he could see them run, and that's how he knew how to get to them. But he ran to that car first, and he didn't care. He did not run to make sure his baby was okay. He ran because he was a scared piece of shit.
Yeah, my lady boner would be broken forever when it came to him. I would never
Oh,
be attracted to that.
we were roasting that in the, I don't remember whose chat it was, but he dries up every woman.
Ugh, gross. And then he was wearing a suit that was a groomsman suit. He wore that on the stand.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's such a gross, like, just like, bro,
And
you're so inappropriate.
Stash he has going on, that creeper stash. Oh,
but I don't like. That's the thing. Is like it doesn't match. Like his parents are powerful, but yet he doesn't have gas money, and he's wearing a groomsman suit to court.
Yeah.
Like,
he makes
what?
over $100,000 a year, and he doesn't have gas money. I'm sorry.
I don't like. What is that? And also, here's how I know that they were trying to set her up for those mushrooms is because there is no chance in a million freaking years that you would do mushrooms at a bachelor party and be like the only person doing them. Like, how? Like, no freaking way. That's not a party drug that you're doing. Like, you have to do those with everybody. Everyone has to be doing them. And like, you can't be hiding it from people, or else you have like a bad trip or whatever. I don't know like what happens, but I just know that like the environment has to be set perfectly right. I got somebody like slipped me acid when I was like it was my birthday party. Somebody had a surprise party for me, and it was just my boyfriend cheated on me like at my birthday party, and it was just awful, and I was having a miserable time, and somebody thought that they would make me feel better, and they dropped that in my drink and didn't tell me. And I like spent the next like 16 hours like crying in a fetal position. Like, I didn't know what was wrong with me. It was just awful. It was a nightmare. I got in bed with my mom and dad.
I've never done anything like that. Like, I've only even smoked pot 3 times in my entire life. And it's not even, I've had an edible once, I've smoked once, and done a dab, that's what it's called, right? Once, because I was told that the marijuana would help my migraines. So I tried it. I tried it 3 different ways, and all 3 times it made me feel drunk as fuck. And I was sicker than a dog. I was so nauseous, and I just couldn't wait for it to end. I wish.
Well, if you want to think about like can't wait for something to end, those like psychedelics, they last for like it lasted like 15 hours. It lasted forever. And
Well, that's what I was going to say, because mushrooms are kind of like LSD. They're a psychedelic.
I think so. Yeah, they're psychedelics, but I don't know like what the difference is between both of them. I've never done the mushrooms, and I've never done acid on purpose. But that person had done that to me. But I didn't know what was wrong with me. Like I was out of my mind, and I had no idea what was wrong with me. But I like got in bed with my parents, and like I was crying all night, and like just awful.
My God.
Aww. It was a nightmare, but I didn't even know. I found out later on that guy like did that to me, and he felt terrible. But he was like, I was just trying to like, get you to be, or, get you back to your normal happy self. I'm like, oh my God. Like, no. But I know that that's like a thing that if you are on that and then nobody else is, and like it's very easy to have a bad trip, and that's literally, and you got to set the environment, and the people around you have to be in a certain mindset or whatever, otherwise like you can have a bad trip, and like I had a bad trip, and so that I was cured forever. I never wanted to try that drug ever in the first place, but like that, and I'm thinking that is the last drug that you would ever want to do at a bachelor party. That's not like a party drug like that. It's not. That's like a chill out. I think people just chill out and like look at colors, and I don't know what the hell they do, but they I don't know what they do. I only got the bad trip of it. I only got the crying in a fetal position kind, but but like
Mark says, wait, what's happening? Bad what? I think he's joking. Are you having a bad trip there, Mark? We're talking about bad trips. I don't know. I've never done that type of drug, and the few times, like I said, I've tried marijuana, I was just sicker than a dog. I just couldn't wait to. But
I always think I want to smoke pot, but then when I do, I think to myself, like, it's way too strong, and then I can't be that high for that long because, like, I've got shit to do. I can't, like, I just want it to go away. And I guess, like, there's other strands of it or whatever, I suppose.
Yes,
I don't know how. I don't even know how to buy the shit. Like, if it was the way it used to be, like the arcade weed, like when I was a kid, when it was normal and you could just smoke pot and then just, have a good time. But no, now this stuff is like fluorescent green. It's like I don't know, that shit is strong as hell. It like, and I feel like everyone can tell I'm high. I'm just like, I want it to go away. I can't do it. So it's just not one that I can do.
I get you. I thought I had found that video. I just it's so funny, but I don't want to dig through too many things. Because there's a channel called Court Chopped. Will showed it during his 12-hour marathon stream for Kelsey, and it was just showing him running and falling over.
Yeah, I saw it from
Court Chopped. God, it was so fucking funny.
It was great. Like, because I think, wasn't there music to it or something to it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it was really funny. But yeah, he, I don't know. And like, I just was thinking, the other thing I was thinking too is that psychedelics are also something that doesn't show up in a drug test because you have to get a spinal tap for that to show up. It doesn't show up in a drug test. Like LSD. I guess mushrooms would be in that category.
No, they
like
show
hallucinogenics.
They do. They show up on a urine test. I know that for a fact.
No, girl, they don't. They show up in a like.
It comes
up. Which ones do?
PCP.
PCP is different than acid. That's a different drug.
I know, but it's what the whatever molecule or whatever that they put in the testing, it's all lumped into one. So if you test positive for LSD or any sort of psychedelic, it's all listed as under a positive for PCP.
I was told that it's the only way to test for that is in like the spinal fluid.
No.
So I don't know. I have to like because PCP is different than acid.
Yeah, hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
I was just gonna say.
See, it says right here, LSD is a lysergic acid diethylamide. I can never pronounce that shit. Can be detected in urine, but it's not included in the 5-panel test. It has to be same with PCP though. That's what I'm saying. It has to be specifically ordered in a certain test. So it's like if you did a standard 5 drug test or even a 10 panel test, it will come back. But a lot of these tests, people, especially when you do drug tests nowadays, because of all these things, and especially even with different opiates don't show up on the 10 panel test, you have to order the specific opiate. So most doctors don't even stick to the 5 panels anymore. They automatically order almost any drug test now.
I don't know if they automatically anymore, like just because I think that those are more expensive. They have to, because only there's like, I think they have to, it depends on, I shouldn't say that. It depends on the lab, I guess. Like it depends on what lab they use and stuff like that. Because I do, and that they used to be a lot more expensive.
It's the order. Because I've worked in these clinics, not to mention with my pump and that before I got my pump, when I was on oral pain medication, I used to have to get urine tested every time I went to the doctors. So it's not the lab, it's the order. They have to check what medications they want. So
yeah, I used to get tested too for my medications, and I'd have to go in and get tested at the doctor before they like wrote my scripts out or whatever.
Right.
And if I recall, like I don't remember them being like an extensive drug panel. Like sometimes they didn't even test, but they're supposed to. Like it just depends. But I never had like the real. It wasn't like a huge drug test. It seemed like it was like I don't know, like a 10 panel maybe. Or 13 panel, maybe 13 panel, maybe. I don't know.
But I know specifically, especially in when I used to work at a clinic that did drug testing, it's all in the order. So when you attach the paperwork to the urine test, because they're normally sent out to the lab, you take the urine at the doctor's and then it's sent to the lab, and you have to put in an order slip. Or with each specimen, you have to fill out a slip with their name and everything. And check mark. It's not even, unless they just check mark the 5 panel, you literally individually check every kind of drug or name of the drug you're looking for. And most of the time when they're doing drug tests now, where they're testing to make sure you're not using any sort of illegal substance, they just automatically check almost everything at this point now.
Well, in Tennessee, there was this case where there was like 700 and something people had received DUIs that swore to God that they had no drugs or alcohol in their system, but they got a DUI because the lab said that they got a DUI or whatever. And apparently, like, there was 700 and something people that.
Well, you know what the problem is there too, and the reason I know, especially with PCP, is because there are medications, especially antidepressants, especially SSRIs, that can cause a false positive on PCP.
Right. Well, there's
especially mixed with Benadryl. There's something in Benadryl mixed with an antidepressant that causes it. Causes the same metabolite as PCP, and it causes tons
there was this rehab and it was in Colorado, I believe, that that were saying that they're that all these people kept coming out positive, and they were like getting like failing their probation and all kinds of stuff, and it just kept happening and happening. And they figured out that there were certain energy drinks that were making false positives. And so this one lady she was like a drug tester, and she did a video on it, and she had 4 different kinds of energy drinks, like all different kinds, or 5 of them, I guess. And then she had the drug test. She opened the cans, in front of you on the video or whatever. Nothing was, you could see everything she was doing, nothing tricky. And
Right.
she showed her credentials and everything, and they all turned out positive. And and what was crazy is they came up positive for different kinds of substances too. Like one
Yep.
of them came up positive for Suboxone, another one came up positive for cocaine, another one came, like, it was wild. They all came out positive for different substances.
Right.
Um,
And because the thing with you, people don't seem to understand with urine drug testing, what they're doing is looking for the metabolites. And it's
mhm.
all in how something is metabolized in the body and then excreted. So when they're looking for these, specific metabolites, whatever it is that triggers a positive drug test, when you mix certain things, whether it's two different medications that somehow metabolites into these things that they're looking for, the same way that the illegal drug does, the test doesn't know the difference. They're just looking for that metabolite, no matter not how it got there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's how that shit happens. And
But why would energy drinks do
that
that?
I honestly don't know. It has to have something to do with what's in them, and especially with all these energy drinks now having all these different just they have all kinds of things in it now with like turmeric and all that. Who knows how they intermix with each other and whatever else that you may be taking or eating. And
Yeah, I guess like poppy seeds can
yeah,
you can test positive for
opiates.
opium.
Yep.
Or, I don't think it's opiates. I think it's opium, right?
Well, it comes back. That's the thing. Opiates it depends on what they're searching for. Just like take morphine versus Oxycontin. Okay.
Mhm.
Those two they're both opiates. They're both made
Mhm.
from opiate derivatives, but one is made from real opium and the other is a synthetic. So
Mhm.
they're different and they're tested for differently as well. So
Man, I think Tiger Woods has got a good case on this DUI. I don't think that I think he will be able to beat this DUI if he when he goes to court,
well,
because
I don't know because in Florida, it is illegal to decline a blood test when you
yeah, he gets a charge for it, but he didn't decline he did a breathalyzer test.
right. But
They
that
all
means he was
I know,
probably
but
who did not. Okay, let me ask you this: if you were going to be charged with a felony, if you didn't take or if you took a drug test and you said, okay, let me prove that I'm not on any mind altering substances. If you weren't taking any, wouldn't you just give them your fucking urine and blood?
it's a misdemeanor.
Right, but I
On
know, but that's what I'm saying. So if you're guilty, aren't you going to take the misdemeanor over actually giving it to him? But that's what I'm saying. If you weren't taking it, why would you take a misdemeanor over just giving them your blood or your urine?
If you weren't guilty, well, because
Right.
here's the thing is that if he was on medicate, because even if you're on prescription medication, you can still get charged with a DUI even if it's
Exactly.
prescribed to
That's
you.
like right, and that's what I'm saying. That's why medications say do not drive until you know how this medication affects you.
Right.
And
But
if you
so like
took
I know how this medication affects me though now, and like I think that I'm fine to drive because like I could take you too probably could take a
right.
pain pill and drive.
Well, I
And
have my
so
pump and I can drive.
what's
So
that?
I
Yeah,
have
exactly.
drive. But my point is with him is that I don't think he's going to pass it because or I don't know. I haven't looked at all the evidence about it, but I'm telling you if he wasn't taking anything that he shouldn't have been taking and he wasn't taking anything new where he should have just, figured out if it was going to affect him or not, why wouldn't he just submit to the test?
Well, here's the
Why
thing. Well, listen, here's the thing is that he blew a 0 on the breathalyzer. The police report said that he seemed lethargic, and then the next line after that says that he seemed wiry and alert or whatever. After they just said he was lethargic. They did the eye test. There's nothing, you cannot fake the eye test. They say it's like a windshield wiper on a dry eye on, like a windshield wiper on a dry windshield, and how it just will skip. That's what your eyes will do when they look through your eye test or whatever. he's gotten, and so his eyes, the eye thing, he passed that, which that is incredible that he passed that. And yet they still arrested him for a DUI. At that point, that, like, I would be furious at that point if I passed the eye test, passed the breathalyzer test, and he said, like, when he got out of the car and he like limped or whatever, and I mean, he has an injury, and he said,
hold on,
or whatever.
Crispy. Scott says he had extra pills in his pocket.
He did. He had 2 pills in his pocket. Yes.
What were they? No.
Vicodin. He had 2 Vicodin.
Okay, so there's right there. Okay, so I'm gonna. This is just my opinion, but he's already had problems with alcohol in the past. He's already had an accident like this in the past due to alcohol, and he's carrying around Vicodin in his pocket. I have to tell you then right there, I'm sorry. I don't think that I think he's pretty much guilty, especially if he's not going to prove that he wasn't taking over what he may have been prescribed, or who knows.
Well, I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I get it. Like, I agree with you. I agree that, and he probably most likely has got some kind of an issue. But but I think though, if you've passed that eye test and you pass the breathalyzer, and then they're still on your ass like that, they didn't charge him for those 2 pills in his pocket. But what if he was he has them in his pocket because he was going out for lunch and he wanted to take it for a meal. He took his medicine with his meal. Or whatever. You and I just had that conversation.
If they were, I don't know if they were, because like I said, I didn't read everything there is to know about it already yet. But I mean, it all depends too. Were they his? Does he have a legal script for it? I think that'll play a role as well.
Yeah, I assume that he does. Otherwise, he would be charged with that if they weren't legal. If they, and he's got legitimate problems enough that he would have a prescription for it. He's had those like horrible reconstructive surgeries and everything on his leg and whatever. But I would think that, and he said that he was distracted because he like looked down at his text message or messed with the radio or something, and that's what happened. But the idea that like, I don't know, like if I passed the eye test and the freaking breathalyzer test, I would be pissed.
Yeah. Did they say specifically if he failed any of the testing besides I know the one-legged one, but that
field sobriety, well, because he has trouble with his leg, he couldn't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's legitimate.
He couldn't take the normal. Yeah, he couldn't take the typical field sobriety one. So they have a specialized test for if you have trouble like with balance or whatever it is. And so he had to like sit down on the bumper. Now, mind you, this is a test that isn't that particular test is not regulated everywhere. They hardly ever administrate it, or they hardly ever give that to anybody, that particular test. And they hardly ever do that. And you have to be certified to give those tests anyhow. And so a lot of times those cops don't have the certification to even give, or their certification isn't up to date to give those kinds of tests. I'm just saying, if I was a defense attorney, these are things I would argue. It just seems like it seems like to me they were really like on a mission to arrest him, just based upon like what I read in the police report and just what I saw. And then I watched like the sit down test be administered, and again, like he didn't even do that terrible on that. Like, it's not that he did it's not like he did really bad on that either. He scored, I don't know what like whatever the scores were, like let's say like you had to score a 10 to fail. He he would score like a 9 or whatever, or score 1 over, like a score an 11. He was only scoring like 1 over to fail the test. So they weren't like, it wasn't a huge thing. It wasn't.
Well, I do have to say, only because 2 things real quick. Chastity, hey, thank you for coming. She brought up, it says with the energy drinks, it could be that some contain amino acids. So it's amino acids that metabolize that way. So She says some could contain amino acids which can mimic certain drug structures. Riboflavin can throw a false positive for weed. I didn't know that one, so that's good to know.
What's Robin flavor?
Riboflavin, it's an amino acid, I think.
Oh.
I've seen it in several. It's normally in like
yeah, I've seen it in stuff too.
Yeah. But then Scott says, seen in video, he was turning his head a few times. And so let me say this, with those tests specifically, it's not necessarily always if you pass the actual eye test, it's if you're following instructions. Now, I have seen that a lot where they say, follow my pen only with your eyes. So that's the instructions are more important than actually doing it perfectly with your eyes. It means don't move your head. And if you can't follow instructions on not moving your head, then you're obviously still not comprehending what.
Yeah, but also he just was in a really bad accident as well, which your adrenaline would be going, and I could see there, like you're nervous, and so there are reasons that you would.
Oh, for sure, I agree with you there.
You know what I mean? And so I can see. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if I always try and be the devil's advocate. Anytime I look at a case and I think that somebody's guilty, I try the best I can to think of reasons why they would not be guilty.
I definitely agree with you that there are problems here. I mean, especially like you said, first and foremost, he was just in an accident. So people could fail those tests just because they're disoriented from the accident itself. But that's my point alone, is that if you know that you were not impaired, why wouldn't you just give the fucking test? Why wouldn't you just give it up?
Well, at that point, if you passed all the other ones and they still are on you, I'd say screw you, because now you're going to try and get me for being on my prescription medication. You're going to say that I'm guilty because of that. So, like, I don't know. Like, I'd rather, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you just get so pissed. I'd be furious at that point. Like, I
see, and I think that's good, because we can talk about this way, because on my point of view, I don't want the hassle of going to court and having to prove it. If I know I'm innocent of doing something, I'm going to give it to you to prove that I'm innocent. Right. I'm not going to make you like go through all this shit just to be a bitch, or not even a bitch. You don't have to be a bitch to make them do their job. That's not my point. But at that point, I'm just not going to make myself have to go through that sort of hassle just to prove that I have the right to do so. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like I guess I think too, like, I don't want a season pass to the courthouse either. And I certainly don't want a season gold pass to the courthouse, but I guess like it's going to be the same punishment either way, you know, like where I'm not sure if he was aware of that charge that he was going to get for denying it. And to me, I think like, well, he did submit to the breathalyzer test. I don't understand that, like, if you have passed that test and you pass the eye test and whatever, and then you still are unhappy where you're going to take my blood now, you know, it sounds like you're going to nail me regardless. So why should I give you that? Why should I make it easy for you? I'll just take the punishment, and you're not going to be able to. I'll just plead no contest at this point. Whatever.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I kind of get both sides on this one. Just for me, I think mentally speaking, I just wouldn't want to go through the hassle. However, Chastity just makes a fair point. Because it's not the same here in Michigan then. Because in Michigan, that's not the case. Because she says, theory for the refusal. If he was prescribed any narcotic, etc., all it takes is being in his system. It doesn't matter if he hadn't taken anything that day. He's screwed if it comes back dirty. Now, in Michigan, that's not the case. In Michigan, let's say for me, who is I have morphine in my system at all times because I have a morphine pump. Okay, so but I have been driving with this pump for years. My dosage doesn't change. Nothing has changed. And you can't tell me that after almost 3 years now, that it's all of a sudden going to affect my driving. No, it's not.
And but if you were in an accident, and that's exactly right, honey. If you were in an accident and they wanted to, and you passed the alcohol test, and then you went to you passed the eye test, and you went to the station, and then they wanted to take your blood, and they found that in there, you would get in trouble. If they wanted to try get you for a DUI, they arrested him for a DUI even though he passed those things. So
but that's what I'm saying though. And if I gave them the test and they could see that I have the proper amount in my system and I've never had an issue before, how can they prove that that was under the influence just because it's in my system? That doesn't seem right. Like, I don't think that's the way it is here in Michigan. I mean, I could totally be wrong, but I think they have to prove that it impaired you. And if they can't prove it impaired you just by it being in your system. Now, if you have over your prescribed dose in your system, because they can test levels, because they do. Now that's a different story. But if they were to test, let's say this happened to me and they were to test my urine or blood and say, oh, well, she's got the same level she should have at all times, they can't prove that that's impaired me since it's never impaired me before. Do you get what I'm saying there?
Yeah. Just I don't know.
System doesn't mean it impaired me.
I'm thinking that you still could get a DUI if it was in your system. If you have that medication in your system, I'm almost sure that you can.
Well, two things. Chastity says riboflavin is vitamin B2. Okay, so thank you.
Oh, that's it.
Yes. I always forget that. Some reason, I don't know why. Because I take vitamin B12 shots. So, but for some reason, see, and why don't they just call it vitamin B2? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know why they go ahead.
Yeah, she says you're going to court regardless, which I guess if that's the case, then yeah, make them do their job. I get that part of it too. But lastly, she also says Tennessee is just wackadoo.
Yeah, I'm from Nashville, so it is wackadoo. He was in Florida, so in Florida is really wackadoo. But yeah, and I mean I can understand like I said, like his how his field sobriety. I mean, if I was his defense attorney, I would want to know from this police officer, how many times have you administered that particular field sobriety, the one that was specialized, because they the lawyers were saying they almost never have people do that, even when people say that they have had an equilibrium thing or they have had back stuff, that they will still administer the regular test. Because I can't do that regular test. Like, I'm stone cold sober, and I would not be able to do that test. Like right now, I would not be able to do that test.
I wouldn't be able to stand on one leg with my hips. Hell no. Like, there's no way I wouldn't be able to balance myself like that.
Yeah, I literally every time I just put one leg up, like I literally start like wobbling, like every single time. I've tried this at home. I just tried this recently, believe it or not. I just had this conversation with somebody just recently, and I was like showing them like how if I tried the test, and I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I don't know what I do. I didn't know that they had like a special sit down one, but that one scares me worse, I think, because like that one seems like they're not used to giving it, and even the directions that they gave him on one of those tests, on one of the things that they gave him, was like they skipped a portion of it when they told it to him. So I don't know.
I'm gonna have to really look it up, because like I said, I haven't looked up. I've only got the gist of it from what I saw. So I'm definitely interested to see these tests, because besides like the follow the pen test and the walk the line test because that's the one they fail a lot. I mean, look at Justin Timberlake. He couldn't follow simple instructions. And right there, that's what I'm saying about, it's not necessarily the actual test. It's that you follow instructions.
Well, he did follow the instructions. Like he had, he had like a couple of, little mishaps, but that was at the beginning of the test or whatever. And like, I don't know, like that, and they make those tests sound so confusing when they're explaining them. They like it. I don't know. Like, I would be confused.
About Tiger Woods or Justin Timberlake?
Oh, not Justin was a slob kebab.
He was wasted.
He was trash. He was a slob kebab. He didn't even call his wife, and like he didn't want that footage to come out.
The one that I watched,
another woman.
Yeah, the one that I watched, talking about it. I can't remember who it was, but they were going over the body cam footage of him doing the test, and they're talking about how he's literally part he was part of a boy band group.
A boy band,
He
and
did
can't do those tests.
extensive dancing routines, and yet he couldn't follow simple instructions to walk a straight line.
Bro,
So
that was one hell of a martini. He only had one martini.
supposedly, right.
Right, right. But also too, like here's the other reason, like for instance, like if you Tiger probably has a better chance of fighting it this way than had he given his blood and there had been, medication in his system and uh whatever. Like he probably has a better chance of fighting it this way where his eyes were fine. His What I wanted to know is, like, are your eyes going to be doing that warpy thing, like that weird bouncy thing on drugs, or is it just alcohol? I don't know the answer.
Well, on opiates, especially since if he had Vicodin on him, I'm assuming they were looking for opiates, and your pupils will become extremely, extremely dilated.
Yeah, but
So
his pupils weren't dilated. But I'm talking about the test where your eyes bounce, like that's the flashlight test, where
oh, see that one,
yeah,
I don't know that one, and I
yeah,
don't.
your eyes like like they do this bouncing thing
Let me. I'm
when
gonna look it up. So here we
yeah,
go.
like that's that pen test, and they take it and they make you look a certain way, and your eyes will bounce if you're on alcohol, and that's how they know that you have alcohol on board.
So it
So
says right here in Google AI, it says the eye bouncing DUI test known as the horizontal gaze nice
yeah,
nystagmus test
whatever, yeah, I
is a
know.
field sobriety test measuring involuntary eye jerking when following a stimulus. Officers look for lack of smooth pursuit, distinct nice, I can't say that word, and maximum deviation and onset before 45 degrees. It is considered highly reliable for detecting alcohol impairment. So yeah, so it looks like it's specifically alcohol. So I mean, yeah, right there, if he blew up 0.0, why the fuck were they looking for alcohol? He obviously didn't have alcohol. Crispy, are you there? Oh, you muted yourself. Oh, they both will? I was just going to read this part down here. I lost Crispy. I don't know what happened to her. If you hear me, you're muted. But it does say factors affecting results. While designed to test for intoxication, other factors can cause this, including inner ear problems, certain medications, or neurological conditions. I mean, that right there, neurological conditions, he was just in a fucking accident. So how is that test reliable? Chastity, the cop was a terrible choreographer. Leave Justin alone. I love it.
I'm so sorry my child just called. That's all right.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just like, did I lose you? And then I was like, wait a minute, you're muted. What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
No, I just was reading the rest of this because Chastity says it can test for both medication and alcohol, certain drugs, and this says right here, factors affecting results. While designed to test for intoxication, other factors can cause it, including inner ear problems, certain medications, or neurological conditions. And like I was just saying, he was just in a fucking car accident, and you're giving a test that could be affected by neurological conditions? Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I get that right there. There's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know I didn't know. I thought that I didn't know. I thought that eye bouncing test, it was only for alcohol. I wasn't even sure if it was drugs, but yeah. So obviously, like if and it was an accident, even though he said that he was okay and the other person said they were okay, the car did turn over. That's a pretty significant situation there. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying is, like, it's not as though I don't think that he's got a problem. The likelihood I believe that he probably does. The thing that I was thinking is that I don't necessarily know if I feel like his defense has got a good a good defense on this so far, in my opinion. And I play an attorney on YouTube, so that I know.
Let's watch. I want to watch it since I found this. Let's watch it.
Okay.
Oops, hold on. Why is it all jumpy? What the hell?
It's the eye test. It's making it jumpy.
Oh my God! Yeah. Hold on, let me find a different video.
Yeah.
TMZ has one, but I don't want to get copyright struck already. Let's see. Let's try. Let's go to videos. Here's NBC News. Let's go to this one.
Ooh, damn. He aged.
Why are his eyes closed?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, they said he was hot, like sweating. It's like, yeah, he was just in an accident, and he's in the back seat of a cop car. They were saying, and he was hiccuping. They said that was a sign of intoxication.
Hiccuping is more of actually hiccuping can be opiates too. They can cause hiccuping.
Oh, really?
Yep. Hold on, let's watch this.
That's an unfortunate hairline.
He just admitted to using his phone while driving. So stupid.
Yeah, but that's actually a better defense than him being wasted. He's like, that's a better thing to say he was distracted.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, just it was dumb.
If I was the defense attorney.
I'm just saying it was dumb to say it, period. Just don't even say that. Like,
right.
Anyway. Oh, I'm just talking to the president. Oh my God.
Is there sound, Scarlet?
You can't hear that?
No.
Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Let me try and do this real quick. I don't know why my thing does that occasionally. It doesn't hear the sound for some reason. When I bring up two different web pages. Hold on here.
Yeah. I know, Chastity. They really do need to calm down. I agree.
Yeah. What did she? Let's see. Tirgger done exactly what he should have done. Refused the screenings, etc. He was in a serious accident. Yeah, that right there alone, it could have caused all these problems. And so I do agree there.
I'm talking about when she said that she gets hiccups from eating Cheez-Its. And
I get hiccups from eating Cheez-Its too fast. They need to calm. Yeah, hiccups. Who cares? People can get hiccups for all kinds of reasons.
Right.
But
and also you can be sweaty because you're in the back of a cop car and you're nervous as hell. And they said, well, the air conditioning was on. Well, guess what? Have you ever sat in the back seat with the air conditioning on in the front seat? It doesn't like blast in the back seat. And especially they don't have that in the cop car where it's blasting in the back seat of a cop car. Get out of here with that. That's why it's hot. And you're in Florida, for God's sake. It's the sunshine state. I'd be sweaty too.
Yep, exactly. I'd be sweating even if the air conditioner was in front of me. It's awful, but that's besides the point. Tell me if you can hear this, just so I can test this.
Sure.
Clubs, including his priceless putter.
I've won 14 majors already.
Are you golfing the Masters this year?
Hoping so.
Yeah.
Depends on y'all.
Yeah. Don't depend on me.
First responders later smashing his SUV's window to retrieve that putter. Woods' manager showing it off.
Nice piece of history right there, huh?
Once handcuffed in the back of a squad car, Woods yawns, closing his eyes. He's since pleaded not guilty and said he's stepping away for treatment.
All right, Jesse Kirsten, just now.
He did come out and say he's going to treatment. Well, then there you go. I mean,
well, he's getting that right out of the he's getting that out of the way, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
He said he's stepping away for treatment. What kind of is it?
rehab,
Mm.
I would assume.
Mm.
And I agree with you, Chastity. I mean, I'm postmenopausal now, and I sweat in 65-degree weather. Okay, so yeah, it's fucking Florida. It's sunny. He's in a dark interior car. Like, yeah, I totally agree with you there too.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen these videos, so I was
And
just
you're bored as hell too. Like you're they make you wait forever and ever.
forever, yeah. Forever, yeah. And I mean, like I said, I'm just the one where I have enough shit going on in my life where if I can get you to be gone by proving that I'm not taking something that I shouldn't be taking or whatever, I'm just gonna say here you go. But I totally get your side too. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I would not like after I passed those two things and I have medication in my system, I'm not going to give them that because obviously they're going to nail me regardless now. So like, I'm not going to give them basically that's all that's doing at that point is just giving them the like handing it to them on a silver platter. Like you're going to have to work for it at least if I don't give it to you. If I give it to you, you're going to nail me regardless. You've already just determined that I'm arrested for it. So they arrested him already and then they wanted him to take that test. So no, you already arrested me. Like, well, I'm not going to give you more evidence to convict me. Get the fuck out of here.
No, and I totally get that. See, that's the thing too. Like, it would be, and me saying even what I said, I would obviously change my mind if just by having what I am allowed to take in my system, no matter if it's the correct level or not, then if you can convict me just on it being in my system, then yeah, I would definitely fight that as well. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
you
like,
can. Yeah, I promise you can get convicted for having it in your system. I promise you, because just like what you said, where it says on the bottle or whatever, it says like do not operate heavy machinery, which I always thought was farm equipment for some reason. Like I don't know why I always thought that, but I never thought like I don't know why it doesn't say don't operate a car, but it says heavy equipment. It's like what. I didn't know what that meant.
well,
I
it's
really
funny
did
is
not.
that a lot of them have changed that. If you've noticed, some pharmacies have different labels now because of that. You're not the only one. Some of them actually say now, do not operate a vehicle.
Oh, I never saw that before. It
Yep.
always said heavy equipment. It's like, well, yeah, no problem. I'm not going to be on a tractor anytime
Yeah.
soon. So, like, I'm fine. But yeah, like, but I do know that it doesn't matter if it's in your system and you're like, and you have a prescription for it and it's in your system. But if you've done something wrong on the road, they can give you a DUI for it.
See, I think that's just bullshit because
I agree with you because, like
anyone,
you and I both, we've been on pain medication for long periods of time, and
yeah,
so it doesn't affect us. Like I could take a Vicodin, and like Vicodin is like taking a half of a Tylenol. In my
right,
opinion,
exactly.
they don't do shit. I don't even take them because they literally do nothing. So
Yes.
Advil work better for me than a Vicodin. But like that's what I'm saying is like, and also if that's what he was taking was Vicodin, and I'm thinking like this guy has probably got a lot of Vicodin, that's a low level pain medication.
Yeah, I mean the maximum it's Norco because they actually don't make Vicodin anymore, and the only
Yeah.
difference is the amount of Tylenol that's in it because
Right.
people were overtaking the Vicodin and overdosing on Tylenol and screwing up their livers because you're only allowed 4 grams of Tylenol per day, 4,000 milligrams. So when if you're overtaking a pill that has 750 milligrams of Tylenol in one, and when I worked for the company I used, like I said, I used to work for a company that had a contract with the Michigan Department of Corrections doing intakes for parolees and prisoners and probationers into dual diagnosis treatment centers. And, these people were taking up to, I mean, people say I took 30 to 40, Vicodin a day. And when you're taking that much medication,
you're trashing your liver.
Yeah, you're destroying
with the Tylenol.
Right.
Well,
so what they did is they made Norco, which is the same dosage of hydrocodone, but lower doses of Tylenol.
Right. Well, listen, like I was watching a really huge channel, like an enormous channel, where like with like 1 million something subscribers, and the lady was talking about Tiger Woods, and she was like, And she's going on this rant about how he needs to be locked up and like just going crazy. Like all of this. I mean, she's really like laying it on thick about what a piece of shit he is. Like, she basically was saying he needed to be on death row. And then she goes, and he had hydrocodone in his pocket, which is heroin. And I'm like, I put in the comments, like, hydrocodone is not heroin. Like, I cannot believe you just told your entire audience, like, that's heroin. Like, I'm not kidding you. People say the damnedest things. And, like, she spread that all over the internet,
Yeah, and I'm sorry. You shouldn't be talking like that kind of shit if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's wild. It's wild that nobody called her out except me. And then, then everyone was, like, mean to me. But like I was like, it's not heroin. Like she said like 4 things in a row that I disagreed with, and then like I said something 4 things back right in a row, and I was like the only one, and then like people were shitting on me, so I ended up leaving.
Jeez, okay. That's what people that are so irresponsible to say shit like that. Like no, that's not even close to the same thing.
What does Scott say? Scott says my allergy med said that I'm sure, but my other 9 bottles say that too. Well,
the whole machinery thing. Like I said, and I don't know if it's other states, but here in Michigan, a lot of the pharmacies have changed their tags because of that, and they literally say do not operate a vehicle instead of the heavy machinery now. Yep.
I feel like I don't know. I've never had a doctor say that to me. I've never had a pharmacist say that to me. Like obviously I didn't take like mass amounts of pain medication and went out driving anywhere, but I don't know. I just feel like they should maybe tell people that. I also, you and I had this conversation. I was saying like my mom used to carry her medicine in an Altoids case my whole life.
We talked because both our moms did that.
Yeah. And then like I have like a little pill container or whatever, and apparently you can get in trouble for that too. Like they could have given him a charge for having those 2 loose pills
outside the bottle
because it's supposed to be in a bottle, the script bottle. And
they have to be provable that they're yours.
Right. Well, they can call the pharmacy and know that they're mine.
And that's what they normally, that's what I was telling you, is that with that kind of stuff, they can technically, actually what they normally do is write you a desk ticket unless they want to be a dick and arrest you and take you to jail for that. Because all you have to do is get your bottle or get a proof of your script and prove that they're yours. But
if I'm a man, I'm not carrying a pill bottle in my pocket. Men don't have purses. But I never wanted them. I never wanted them in my purse because I didn't want anybody to see what I had where they might want to steal it or whatever,
Yeah.
And so I always carried them in like a little pill container, but I didn't know that you weren't allowed to carry your medication in an Altoids container. My mom would have, like she'd have been busted big time with her blood pressure pill in Tylenol.
Oh, I know. My mom, I told you, my mom at one point, she was on like 16 pills a day with all her conditions.
And I come from people that don't take medicine and like literally believe that medicine is the devil. So
I know people like that too.
Yeah, that's how my entire family is.
So it's crazy. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I told you a little bit about my cousin who has got some major drug problems, and my aunt, his mother, she's on a lot of medications too, including a lot of pain medications as well. She's had both her shoulders replaced and stuff like that. And she's another one. She carries around all kinds of pill bottles and pill baggies and stuff like that. I couldn't imagine what would happen to her if she were to get pulled over and they pulled all that shit out of her purse, because it's not like she's going to carry around 10 bottles or whatever.
Right. Like, that's the thing with me too. I like all of the medication that I'm on, like when I'm in an acute state, like I'm not carrying around all that crap,
No. Yeah,
no
and that's just ridiculous. They need to provide you, and that's what I mean. I know what it's like that in Michigan. Is that all you have to do is prove, kind of the same thing like if you were to get a ticket for not having your driver's license or your insurance. You have 7 days to present to the court that you have one. that you have a legit driver's license, or you have your proof of insurance.
Not anymore. Like they can look the driver's license up on their
Well,
computer.
I know, but I was just making a comparison.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I used to think that too. Like I remember being younger and used to like leave with my driver's license in my hand, like when I was just like running up to the store or something. And it's like I didn't really need to bring my whole driver's license with me, and just to go up to the mini mart. But
yeah, but technically you're supposed to have it on you, and if a cop wants to be a dick, they can write you a ticket. Which all you have to do is go. You have 7 days, at least in Michigan, you have 7 days to report to the courthouse with your proof of insurance or your license, whatever you are missing, and show that you have the documentation, and then they just take away the ticket. That's it.
Scott says, I took a sleep study, failed, took it again, passed. I was very careful on that question, not so he didn't lose his driver's license, which is great.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he says, I get pulled over for no seatbelt because my medical device, I have doctors no seatbelt while driving. Yeah, Scott. I used to have a thing that attached to my portacath, and like every time I would turn my head, it would like set it off and like make it go. It would make it go beep beep beep. It was so annoying, and you'd have to reset it. Like I was on a pump thing, and every time I would wear my seatbelt, it would like kink it or whatever, and so I wouldn't wear my seatbelt or whatever. And my doctor did not write me that though. Like he just
my mom's
no.
doctor wouldn't either. My mom never wore her seatbelt ever. And thankfully she was only ever asked about it once, and it was because she was pulled over for something else. But because cops, when they got the right to pull over, because they did in Michigan, I don't remember what year it was, but prior to whatever year they switched the law, even though driving with your seatbelt was illegal, they couldn't pull you over strictly for not wearing your seatbelt.
Yeah, that's the same as it is here.
Something out. Yeah. So they did change that law where they could start pulling you over for wearing a seatbelt. And my mom still was like, fuck you. I'll take you to court. And she didn't care. She was the one that was like, I'll fight you over this. Because of her stuff, and she's like, nope, sorry. You're not going to do it.
I've had so many portacaths that they've ran out of room to put them in, and so mine was in my jugular. Mine was in my jugular, in my neck. Mm-hmm. And so you can imagine like having the seatbelt hit that area. It sucks, Yeah. So I just hated that whole thing. So I just thought, oh, that's great. And the doctor was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I thought, okay, well, that sucks. Like that, because I'm always on the road and I'm always driving.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like, and I literally am driving, like I'm working with this damn thing. I've got something attached to my neck, which is already like the most embarrassing thing ever, but whatever. Oh, well, I got through it,
Right.
So I only have to do that occasionally now, but it's just, it was a lot. It was a lot when that was going on. And I just felt like that's all I need is, to get pulled over and then have trouble with work and everything, I don't know.
Yeah, I wish more doctors were more compassionate about that type of stuff, because my mom tried so many times to get something, because she had a handicap sticker and stuff, but she's like, can it be something on my record that says I don't have to wear my seatbelt? And she couldn't get around it anywhere. Her doctor wouldn't help her. No one would help her. So it's nice to know that at least there are some doctors who take that kind of stuff into consideration, because a lot of them won't. They don't care.
Chastity.
Oh my God, hold on. Krusty, I swear we're the same. I used to take Kepra, and it would have the warning about heavy machinery. My mom called and asked, what are you doing? I said, I've got 30 minutes till go time. Tractor to the right. That's too funny.
I really did. Like, it says heavy machinery, and that's.
Well, I said you weren't the only one. That's why they changed
I had no idea. I did think I was the only one that thought that. I swear to God, I didn't know anyone else thought that. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm so stupid. I was like, God, I'm so dumb. Like, I'm the only. Like, I literally thought they were talking about farm equipment. That's crazy. Scott, that's awful that that you have to, like, I feel bad that I don't want anything to happen, and hopefully you're a safe driver, Scott. So at least, like, and at least drive slow. At least drive slow.
Because
And I
there
wouldn't
are
care.
unfortunate things that can happen if you're not wearing your seatbelt. But I totally understand when you know, for several reasons why you wouldn't want to wear one, medically speaking or otherwise. You know that it's, you know, just as long as you're careful and understand that it's your choice at that point. But at least you have a choice. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, oh wow, it's wild. It says, Scott says, yes, look at your local code laws and codes. If you have a medical device not required to wear seatbelt, there's a law to protect you. Oh, wow, Scott. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, because, like, maybe, I don't know if that's new or if it goes, I'm
It
sure
must
it goes
be
state to
new, and
state.
it might go state to state as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's I don't know. My mom did get lucky, but she always said I'd fight them to the death in court over it. So
Why didn't she like to wear one?
well, long story short, my mom with her MS and all the stuff that she had going on when she was like in the 80s, she had some issues where the numbness from the MS and that she had issues with her bladder, and they ended up having to reconstruct her a whole new bladder out of intestines. And she had a huge X incision or cross incision way back then. You know, they didn't have laparoscopic, whatever.
Laparoscopy.
Laparoscopic surgery back then, you know, so she had the big cross incision, and she had to have that open 3 times. So it was like a 3-time scar in the same spot. And so it was even after 20, 30 years, it was still extremely sensitive to her. And it felt just irritated the hell out of it.
Oh, bless her heart.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Scott. That's good to know. I wonder if it's a new law. Scott knows he knows the law and stuff like that. And I didn't know
he was helping me with my computer too.
That's what you said, and I didn't know he was, like, you were good at that, Scott. Now you're in trouble because I would help too, Scott. You're in big trouble now. Like, I hope you didn't give
you for all of her computer problems from now on.
I know. I hope you didn't give her your information because I'm gonna be bugging her.
I still have to figure out what's going on with this desktop. Why I can't stream YouTube through StreamYard, because other than that, everything that Scott's given me to help and reboot my entire computer and get Windows 11 on it and stuff, like, it's working amazing, except for that. That's it. Everything else is cool. So,
you know what that is? Probably it's just like something really little that you're not, it's something small that you're not pressing. It's just like some little thing that I don't know what it is, but like it's just something little that you've overlooked.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I can't give the advice.
I'd be messaging him soon. He's like, okay. Chastity says, I mean, I knew it meant vehicles, but the idea of someone getting caught up driving a car because they thought as long as it wasn't a forklift made me giggle. Also, I just liked irking my mom's nerves.
I see. At least you were smart enough to know that it meant vehicles. I did not know. And I was like, oh God, like, no problem there. I'm not going to be driving a tractor today. Like, oh God, that's crazy. Scarlett, I'm gonna have to get down soon here. Like, my kid just she called me because, like, she just her and her boyfriend just broke up, and that he's out right now, and like it hurt her feelings, and she's crying. So yeah, I don't know.
Tonight we didn't plan on staying on too long, and it's already been almost 2 hours. So hey.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah,
wow.
So
I know. I don't even know what to say, but she's like, it's like he doesn't even care, and I'm thinking, like, I don't even know, but I don't want her to feel sad.
And just listen to her, you know, and tell her that you're there for her, and that's really all that matters. So
look at Scott came in with the damn law code, like he came in with the freaking code. Scott. You mean business, buddy.
I know. He's so awesome. I swear to God, I have some amazing people that come to my channel, and especially my mods, Maylin and Scott are amazing. They're on the ball with my links and everything I need, like, or want to know. They just pop it right up for me. It's so awesome.
Yeah. I have a friend with the same last name that Messerschmitt, and like every time I saw Scott, I would always think of him or think of my friend or whatever. And I think I asked him one time, like, if he was related to anybody like from my area. He's like, nope. But yeah, I know, Chastity. That's why I feel bad, because like she was really sad, and I don't want to. I feel bad because she, like, I knew when that she just called, and I knew that was if she called, there was something wrong, and she was, sad. I'm like, I was like, I'm on a live stream right now. I was like, I'll be in a minute.
Yeah, so. I mean, with with the kiddos in their teenage years, you just have to listen and let them cry and get it out, because no matter what you try to tell them or give advice to them about, they're not going to listen to it anyway. So
yeah, I think she's just like, I think like she's just in a situation where I don't even think that she's really that into him. I think it's just she's bored, and like, and they're all out right now, and so everybody's out, and she's not there, and they're broken up, and like that makes you feel like shit, And I was like, I thought you blocked him on everything. She's like, but I see everyone else's stories. I'm like, oh shit, social media is like a nightmare for these kids.
I don't even want to get into that. I'd never be able to let you go if we started talking about that kind of shit.
Right, I know.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I truly appreciate you coming on tonight, and I really hope that we can make this a weekly thing. We may talk about switching the days though, because Thursday being Sex Cult with Turtle Boy, and but let's we'll keep in contact for the next week and figure it out. Maybe we'll switch to like a Friday night, or just whatever night works.
Yeah, we'll do like, I think late night is good too, because there's that's great as well. But I think Thursdays are problematic for various different reasons. There's too many people on Thursdays, and you're a new channel, so but we'll figure it out. Little by little, we'll get there. So. But thank you so much for having me, and thank you guys in chat for listening to my big mouth just run.
You guys, we're gonna just talk some shit once a week. Stay tuned as to what night that's gonna be, and I truly appreciate you guys all for being here. And Krispy, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, you have a good night.
You too, honey.
Bye, everyone.